Good morning, Saints. I'm Mason Shields.
And I'm Sophie DeRoy.
And welcome back to SFHS Today.
In world news, according to CNN, President Trump said he's applying strict new sanctions to Turkey and urging them to stop the invasion of Syria.
In central and northern Japan, rescue workers search for missing people after a devastating typhoon, leaving 48 dead and thousands of homes and businesses flooded.
In national news, Massachusetts puts a 4-month ban on the sale of vaping products as vaping-related lung injuries are on the rise. This is the strongest measure taken yet by any state.
In local news, there was a shooting at the Blaine Walmart last week. According to KARE 11 News, police believe the man shot someone he knew in the head. Outside the North Suburban retailer, fortunately, the victim will survive his injuries. In 2012, the ISD 15 community was devastated by the accidental death of 4th grader Nicholas Inkler. Over MEA weekend, family and friends gathered to give back to the community in his name in a highway cleanup effort.
We have an in-depth story on remembering Nick next week. This week is Anti-Bullying Week. Students are being asked to wear blue and orange shirts this Wednesday for Unity Day. There will be tables set up at lunchtime to sign anti-bullying pledges.
Reporters Olivia Olson and Caitlin Riley spoke with the counseling department and students about this important awareness week.
Hey Saints, I'm Kaylin, and I went out this week and got information on Anti-Bully Week and what Unity Day is.
Anti-Bullying Week is basically just kind of a week just to raise awareness that bullying is a problem.
It was all started because of Kenzie Godell. She was the original founder of it. I was helping her last year and I think the year before.
On Wednesday, which is Unity Day, we will be wearing orange and blue shirts.
Unity Day is a day where we all kind of come together to promise that we're all going to be kind, we're all going to end bullying, and we're all just going to kind of unite and end bullying and include everybody.
Next week, during all the lunches, there will be a Jeopardy board to win prizes like bracelets. We're going to be bringing chalk outside to decorate the sidewalk in front of the school with positive messages, and we're doing pledge sheets to pledge that you will never bully and how you plan on doing that.
So on Wednesday, October 23rd, Unity Day, there will be a bulletin board out in the lunchroom where you guys can take a stand and lend a hand to stop bullying. So there will be a table where you guys can take a hand and you can pledge to not bully. I will be providing orange ribbons, and everybody should be prepared to wear orange that day to show that they are against bullying.
A few weeks ago, we looked into parking permits and found out that the parking lot attendant, Brad Rolfe, does many things to help students at SFHS. Brett Overvold and Zach Graff interviewed some students and staff about their appreciation for Brad, our parking lot supervisor.
So having Brad Rolfe on staff was a great addition last year, and I'm really glad he came back this year. Not only keeping our parking lot safe, but being able to be in the hallway, make sure the bathrooms are not being used for inappropriate reasons, and also just making sure that people are safe as they travel through the school. That's one of the huge benefits that I see from having Brad on staff.
But on a serious note, Brad is a great guy, very helpful for law enforcement. He gets a lot of information that we can't always get as far as being up here and he's out there, or vice versa. If we're out there, he's in the building, gets us all kinds of information that is very helpful. So he's a huge asset for law enforcement.
As you can see, I probably work as closely with him as anyone, and I lean on him daily to do a lot more than probably what his job description is. He'll get students for me. He'll be in here with me if I'm interviewing someone. So he does a lot for me personally, and in this position.
What are your thoughts on having Brad around in the school?
I think he puts up with us a lot. Considering someone threw a piece of pizza at him one day in lunch and
he told me right away that if somebody came forward and said sorry about it, he wouldn't like it'd be square. I think he's a very respectful person, and that he has a good soul.
So, do you have any stories about Brad or anything outstanding about him that you would like to share?
Well, first of all, I'm still waiting for my 8x10 picture of him. He asked me if I wanted a picture of him for my office, and I asked if he had an 8x10. He didn't, so I'm still waiting for my 8x10 picture.
So, how do you feel after working in the school for over a year now? How do you feel about the environment and the people here?
I like working in the school. I look forward to coming to work every day.
He does go above and beyond. He creates relationships with all kinds of different kids, not just the athletes, but students, interacting with day to day. You can see in the lunchroom, lots of students come up to him. It's obvious that he cares about the kids here.
Thanks for that information. Last week also marked the mid-try point of the first trimester. Reporter Jared Hayter got some more information about what students can do to improve over the second half of the try.
What are tips for people trying to build their grade after mid-tries?
So tips for students to build their GPA and grades after mid-tries would be just making sure that you're getting what you need turned in, you're doing all your work possible, you're studying for those tests and even the final test, just making sure you're doing what you need to do to hopefully improve your GPA.
What tips do you have for people to get their grade up after mid-try?
It's just stay focused and just look at like what you want ahead. Like you want an A, just stay focused and wait for that A, you know?
I say ask questions during class, and like if you don't understand it, don't just sit there and be like, oh, I didn't understand it. Like ask questions how it goes.
If you fail the test and that's what's holding you back, or you failed your test and you need to make up an assignment, if you just talk to your teacher, most teachers are really lenient with you and they will help you. If you can go into Saints time and just retake the test or retake the problems that you got wrong, that can help a lot. It'll really boost up your grade and it does make a difference.
For students struggling in any class or need a little bit of extra help, I think it's really important that you talk to that teacher that you need extra help with. A great time for any student to connect with the teacher is Saints time.
Why should underclassmen pay attention to their GPA and not put it off?
Because your GPA is actually really important. I used to put it off when I was a freshman and a sophomore, and that was not a good choice considering where I am now.
I just say like your GPA affects what college you want to get into. So if you have like a dream college, I would work on that GPA and
Especially
notice
if you
it.
want to be a doctor, man.
Underclassmen should pay attention to their GPAs because they don't want to be juniors and seniors panicking that they are not able to graduate.
2 weeks ago, Outdoor Adventure went on a canoe trip down the St. Croix. Here's some footage from the trip.
Alright, we just finished up our St. Croix River canoe trip. It was pretty windy. We only had one canoe get a little bit wet, a couple rescues. Beautiful day.
Incredible experience and way better than being in math class.
Last week, reporters Ryan Aschenbach and Tanner Artson went out and asked students and staff what their favorite Netflix shows are, getting prepared for the long weekend.
It's the random question thing, ding!
This week we're interviewing students around the school about their favorite show on Netflix.
Let's go.
Either Friends or The Office.
Gossip Girl.
The Office or Parks and Recreation.
My favorite show on Netflix is probably Friends.
The Office.
The Vampire Diaries.
What's the last show you binge watched?
I literally keep rewatching those two shows.
Grey's Anatomy.
The last show I completely binged on Netflix was American Horror Story, the Freak Show season.
The latest show I've binge watched is The Office.
That 70s show.
Lucifer.
The best one I've ever seen on Netflix, well, probably a tie between Breaking Bad and Orange is the New Black.
Friends or The Office.
Bates Motel.
The Office.
Gossip Girl.
I would probably recommend The Office.
Now let's kick it over to sports.
Hey Saints, I'm Cody Hendrickson and this is Sports. varsity volleyball team won against Buffalo this past Tuesday, 3-1 for their last regular season home game. They played Duluth East home on Wednesday for their first section match. The girls' soccer team traveled to Duluth last Tuesday for their section semifinals. They suffered a tough loss to Cloquet with a final score of 2-0, ending their very positive season. We are looking forward to watching this young team next year. In other soccer news, the boys' soccer team won their first semifinal game for the first time since 1995 against Duluth Marshall at home, 4-3. They played Duluth Denfield on Thursday for their shot at state. Our reporter Tanner Artson, who plays soccer, was there to get the final reactions from the momentous game. Last week, the football team faced off with Cambridge Isani Blue Jackets with the big Battle for the Paddle game following a devastating loss to the Huskies. Reporters Caitlin Vangsness and Haley Howland got the story before the game.
Battle for the Paddle is a rivalry game, oftentimes called a trophy game, where two schools, in this case Cambridge and St. Francis, play for a traveling trophy. The winner of the game gets to keep the trophy. That trophy just so happens to be a paddle, and so we're both on the Rum River, both have some common, geographical locations and the Rum River in common, so we decided a Battle for the Paddle would be an appropriate trophy and game for us to play in.
It's a cool idea with a close home rival like that. It's a good deal.
How do you think the Saints are going to do this week?
We're going to crush Cambridge. Guaranteed.
What year did Battle for the Paddle start?
I want to say it was 2014. Now, we've played Cambridge a lot longer than that, but that was the year we came up with the idea and created the battle.
Cambridge is an okay team this year, and we've struggled as of late, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get it done and keep the battle this year.
Who currently holds the battle?
The Saints. We do. It's ours.
It means a lot, because back in the day, we lost to Cambridge. When I played, we lost, and now we got the paddle, and we're never giving it back.
The Saints won an exciting game and hold on to the paddle for another year. We'll have more next week on the Saints' upcoming opponent for their first section game. That's all for sports this week. Check back next week for more. Now back to the studio.
To close out this week, some of our team decided to start a new feature called Whip of the Week. Let's see who's behind the wheel.
I'm Reed Pastwa.
I'm Trevor Patterson.
I'm Tate Skoquist.
And I'm Jake Bergman.
And this is Whip of the Week.
I'm Easton. This is my 1996 Ford Mustang Cobra. It has a 4.6 4-valve V8 in it. It makes around 350 horsepower. The rear end, stage 3 racing clutch, short throw shifter, ram air intake. It's been dyno tuned. It has tubular K-member and subframes along with an aluminum flex plate. It has long tube headers, custom valve exhaust, and it has a ProMotion.
What is your plan for the future?
I'm hoping to get an intercooled turbo setup. If not this winter, next winter.
How many tickets have you gotten in the car?
Surprisingly, I've only had one ticket in my life, and it has been in this car.
Make sure to check out our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook account, and our website, the sfhscrier.com, for more news.
That's all we have for this week.
Stay safe, Saints.